Kiss 92.5 Studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. Roz, Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
That's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Roz and Mocha's DM Deep Dive. I regret this already.
All right, DM Deep Dive time. Love this part of the show. The DMs that you send in to us make their way over to Maria, who then brings them to the show.
Hey, Maria, what do we got in the DMs today?
All right, Steven is asking, has anyone else totally had enough of people saying literally after every few words? They will do something like film the CN Tower and say, I'm literally looking at the CN Tower right now. Am I the only one that gets annoyed by this? When it's obvious what you're doing, you don't need to say literally. You're using the word correctly, but in such a stupid, redundant way.
Literally.
Literally.
Man, I don't know. It don't bother me.
That's not one of the ones that particularly bothers me.
What's the one that bothers you? First of all, does it bother you, Maria?
No, because I say literally and honestly to everything. So, I mean, I think I'm the person that Steven hates.
Yeah. yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why
you wrote it in.
Because he always hears you say it. What's your word, Roz?
I don't know. Like, I think it's also, it's person specific, really. Like, sometimes a person will just say a word that I don't like the way they say it. Where if somebody else said it, it wouldn't bother me. Like, I know I've had that in the past. I can't think of a specific word.
Like how we all say the word onion, but you say...
Yeah, but that's just a word I say wrong.
Onion.
It's not like I say it all the time.
You say onion, and we all say onion. Or we all say mango, and you say...
No, I don't want to hear this.
Mango.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Or mango.
Don't even add another one.
Mango.
That's a tough word.
It's not. Mango.
Mango.
But that doesn't make sense.
Mango.
It's a single G word.
If you say onion and you can't figure out mango?
What?
However you say, I can't even say him the way he says onion.
He says onion.
The same ung sound goes in mango. It's the same thing.
Okay, first of all, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes,
Literally.
I do.
You literally.
Yes, I do. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the way your tongue moves.
No, what?
First of all, we had to bleep a whole lot of things there.
Yo, Maria, your dad listens, eh?
No!
Next DM, please.
Guys, why you do that to me? Anyways, Piper says, do you guys have any family heirlooms and would you pass them down?
You got anything in your family, Maria?
I have a necklace that my grandmother, who I'm named after, she gave it to me actually already.
Yeah.
But I have that and I'll probably end up giving it to one of my kids.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Roz?
Not really. No. There's a difference between like passing something down. But the reality is anything that I have, Roxy's just going to get it all. Right? So unless I specifically do a ceremony of like, this thing was important to whatever, like that. But if I die, she just gets everything. So she, whether it's an heirloom or not, she gets it all. Like she will get, something that may mean something to me. And then she will,
or it may mean something to her that means nothing to you right now, but she sees it and it's
and maybe because
that's my dad right there.
Maybe because we had a few of those things with my dad, right? Yeah. And like one of the dumb things that my brother and I hung on to forever was his PlayStation 1 memory card.
Aww.
Because his car that he built was on there.
Oh my God.
Right?
Okay.
And so we could race him. If we played PlayStation, right? We would just pop his card in and then let the AI take over. But it was his car, the way that it looked and everything else.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
The way that he built it, right? So there's like stupid things like that, right?
And you know where it is?
No, I don't, because that was just, everything just sort of went to hell after that. And we got rid of stuff and things just started to mean, different things. But my brother and I did that for a long time where we held on to his PlayStation card. So that was something that meant a lot. And it was that kind of thing is only going to mean something to my brother and I. Like that kind of thing would mean nothing to Roxy, and trying to explain the significance to her, she would never be able to experience it because I don't have a PlayStation 1 anymore. Yeah. So it's not even like I can share that with her.
I don't think my parents have anything. Like the only thing that my mom may try to pass down.
Yeah.
And I can't, I'm not going to say, no, Mom, I'm not going to use this.
Yeah.
Right. And it's so it's still on display. And I've talked about this before, but she bought like the full set of when Charles and Diana got married.
Right.
Like the plates and the cups and like the saucer and like the big tray. And it's like, she dusts it off and everything. Like it's there in the living room.
Yeah.
Right. Like she made a son here. Like,
oh, can I tell you a terrible story? A terrible sibling story?
Yeah.
My old man's sister, right? What a piece of work.
Okay.
So years ago, when my dad got back from Vietnam, he moved back to Montreal. That's where his family had been living. So he moved back to Montreal, and a lot of the stuff he just got rid of, but he kept his medals that he got, right? And he left some important things at his sister's house. And he and his sister had the worst relationship in the world. Mm-hmm. She was awful. And then he sort of went out and lived a life. And then when he established himself and got an apartment and everything else, he went back to his sister and was like, hey, can I get my stuff and can I get my medals? And she's like, I don't know what happened to them.
What'd you do with them?
And he's like, you're kidding me.
Them?
And she's like, yeah, I don't know what happened to them. They're gone. And so that was like 1970 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then my dad goes on and lives a life, and he meets my mom, and they have us, and he lives a whole life, short life, but a whole life, died in his mid-50s. And after his funeral, sister never showed up to the funeral, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Right? She knew, didn't show up to the funeral.
Terrible.
Couple of weeks after the funeral, my mom gets a package in the mail. His medals.
No.
No way.
She had him the whole time.
Oh my God.
And was just being petty as hell.
Yeah, the whole time.
Oh,
the whole
was there a
time.
note with
nothing?
Nothing.
Zero.
Trash.
Nothing. Trash. Right?
And did your mom ever reach out to her?
No.
To be like, WTF?
No. So my brother has them now. Oh, yeah. Man. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
People, right? Awful people.
Wow.
Terrible people.
Thank you, everyone, for all of the DMs that you send in to us. These are the conversations that happen because of your DMs. Love getting them. Maria grabs them all and then put them on the show. So thank you for that round today, Maria.
Anytime.
Roz and Mocha's DM Deep Dive. You wouldn't say that to your mama, so why us?
Here we go. DM Deep Dive time, y'all.
Hey, Maria, what do we got in the DMs today?
Hello. Okay, this person wanted to remain anonymous.
Oh.
They wrote in, I'd like your opinion on this. My question is, how would you feel if your man or woman was following IG models or people who post very scandalous pictures? And would you bring it up to your partner if it bothered you?
Maria, what's your answer?
I mean, I've kind of had this happen before, so I would bring it up.
Yeah.
I definitely think that like everyone if you're single, you're going to follow people. But I think if you're in a relationship and it's something that like is like a no-go for you, you need to have that conversation pretty early on. I also don't think that people should just be like liking and commenting on other people's scandalous photos when you're in a relationship.
What if they were following them before the relationship started? Like, are they then to go and delete them?
If you're following like an OnlyFans model, I just don't see the point.
No. Okay, first, yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? Like, I think you should
fully
unfollow for the respect of the person that you're with. Like, I'm not going to follow a million, not that I do anyways, but imagine I'm following guys who post pictures of them topless all the time. I'm not going to do that when I'm with someone. I think it's unfair.
Fair enough. Dammit Mora, your thoughts on this?
I can't.
Do you and Matthew ever have this conversation of who you follow on social?
No, but I know that he follows like I can't complain about people he's following if I'm following people that I'm following.
Because you follow OnlyFans models as well, right?
They just show up in the magnifying glass thing.
They just show up.
But you also interact, though. Like, you'll DM somebody.
Not anymore.
Not anymore since when?
Yesterday?
There shouldn't have been an ever.
It is what it is.
Wow.
Shimmy.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Next DM.
Jason says, Maria, when you wear your Apple Watch all the time, what is your average move goal?
Ooh. Do you change your move goal?
Mean?
So on the Apple Watch, if you click open here,
Fitness.
your fitness on your watch, you can do like your activities. So my move goal is 700 calories a day. My stand is 12 hours. My exercise is, I had it at 50, but I don't know why I changed to 30. And then I try to get 10,000 steps a day in my move.
Yeah.
10,000 steps a day is impossible.
No, it's not. I did it yesterday.
It's very difficult.
I
went to the CNE and I got home and we didn't do 10,000 steps.
Really?
No.
I crack 10,000 like almost every day.
Doing what?
Walking around, exercising, doing stuff.
It's also easier when you have dogs, I feel. Because like I get up, I'll walk Romeo, I'll come home, I'll walk Romeo again, and then they'll take him for like a long walk in the afternoon. Or like your steps also count. Like when I'm working out, those are steps. If
Like
I'm
we
going
were
for
in
a
New York
run.
and we were out all morning. Went for breakfast. All we did was walk and then went for lunch, walked all the way back. Like we were gone for like hours. Didn't hit 10,000 steps.
No, guarenteed you did.
We didn't hit 10,000 steps.
In Greece,
No.
where you walk everywhere the same thing in Europe, is I was hitting like 24,000 steps a day.
I don't believe that.
Dude.
I don't. I walk.
There's a glitch in whatever device you guys are using. There is no way with the amount of walking you guys did in NY that you didn't crack the 10.
Honestly, the most we did, right? Because it's always on the phone. Like Roxy just has her phone with her and then she comes home and checks her phone, right? And the most we did, one time we were in Portugal and we were literally in Porto, which is all bloody hills. Everything in Portugal is hills. And you are just walking. I think once we got to 12,000.
No. Guaranteed your phone is not picking up every single movement. It's picking up some of the movement, not all of it.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, I've never hit 10,000 steps.
I think your steps are too wide.
Yeah, that's what Roxy says. She's like, you just got to take smaller steps.
Huh. Like
right?
a shuffle?
Yeah, like a yeah. Thank you, Maury. Like I gotta shuffle. You know what I have to do? I need to have put paint on the bottom of Maury's feet one day and have him walk around everywhere in here. And then everywhere I go, I have to match his footsteps.
Oh no, you're basically crawling.
Yeah, I'd have to match his footsteps. That's the only way I'm going to get to 10,000 steps.
Because your legs you're taking this, like every one of your steps is like 2 of mine.
Yeah, that's why.
What else we got today in the DM Deep Dive, Maria?
All right, Sajeev says, hey, Mocha, what is that blueberry pie place that you mentioned in episode 962 of the Roz and Mocha podcast? Also, do you have any suggestions for good dessert places in north of Aurora?
Aurora, the town that both Maria and I live in.
Mm-hmm.
The pie place I was talking about was, oh, God.
Oh, my God. You
Google
said
pie
it.
places in Aurora.
Wanda's Pie in the Sky.
That's what it was.
And they had the best blueberry
Wanda's.
pie.
They're on Uber Eats.
There is one place, I got to tell you, I go to this place so much that I see fans there almost.
Do you really?
On the weekly now. Yeah. I run into fans of the show. But I go to, in Newmarket on Main Street, there's a place called Goodman's Fine Foods. Right? They're a bakery and they're attached to my favorite coffee shop, which is called Metropolis. There's an upstairs, there's a downstairs, ton of stuff. And we get a lot of our desserts I get from Goodman's, and my coffee almost every day I get from Metropolis. But that's where we got the pie from specifically.
Wanda's makes that slice of pie that reminds
Bro, it's
you of
so
home.
good.
That's what it says.
It's so good. What bakeries do you go to, Maria? Have you ever tried, in Aurora, have you ever tried Ginger's?
No.
We've gone to Ginger's a whole bunch. That place is amazing.
No, I have. I've actually ordered cupcakes from there. They're fantastic. I have been to Ginger's. I like them. Also, the Maid's Cottage, if you like butter tarts.
Oh my
God. They are to
They have the best
die for.
butter tarts. The Score ones are my favorite. Score with caramel and chocolate. Oh my God.
So those are by far some of my favorite places.
yeah.
Other than that, like in Aurora, not really. Like I don't really know where else to go.
Oh man, I go everywhere.
But I have to try that pie place. I haven't been.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Try it
Goodman's.
out.
Goodman's is the name of the spot. Thank you, everyone, for all the DMs that you are sending in to us. Keep them coming in. We love talking about your DMs. We love reading them. We love interacting. So we'll do this again tomorrow.
Roz and Mocha's DM Deep Dive. Roz and Mocha's DM Deep Dive. Our DMs is where all the weird lives.
All right, the DM Deep Dive. This is the part of the show where we go through the DMs that you are sending in to us. Maria gets them, gathers them, brings them to the show.
Maria, what do we got in the DMs today?
Okay, A is asking, in a Catholic church, you get your communion, which is wine and bread, symbolizing the body and blood of Christ. If you had to pick your communion, what would it be? Mine would be a gin and tonic and a deviled egg.
Yo, spicy.
All right.
That's a good one. Maria, what's yours?
I think it would be a tequila soda and a chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, wow.
Great selection.
Damn it, Maury.
I would say a glass of rosé
Glass.
and egg whites.
Egg? What do you mean egg whites?
What?
How are they going to give them to you?
Oh, like boiled and you take the yellow out.
But how do you know? Like a deviled egg, you can pick up and eat.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with the egg whites?
I guess slide it in.
Off what? Never
a
mind.
spoon.
Never mind.
What are you taking into your church, Rod?
It's a good one because I want something with no bone, right? If I'm going to take it, I want it with no bone.
So you can't say
I
like a
can't say
chicken wing.
I can't say a chicken wing,
Yeah.
right? I might do a can of cider and a sausage roll.
Yeah. Good one. Good one.
Right?
I'm going to say like a shot of whiskey and a pizza pocket.
Oh, but you got to do the whole pizza pocket like at once, though. Pizza pockets
Could
are
be a
large.
miniature pizza
Yeah,
pocket.
a
They could be the
little
little
one.
mini
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little guy with like one piece of pepperoni inside.
Right.
Yeah.
What about like I also love a dumpling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love a
I think I
dumpling.
might change mine to a shot of tequila.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maria. You're going to be done by the
Yeah.
time service is over.
Yeah.
Can I change mine to a coffee and pickled herring?
Sorry, Mark. You're not invited to our church. Get out.
That's the devil talking.
Cheesecake, what are you taking?
Probably apple juice and a piece of roti.
Just like so that's basically what you get already, right?
Oh, my God. All right, what else we got in the DMs today?
Santa says, have you ever done a DIY project to save money or time only to end up spending more of both?
Oh, my God.
All the time, but that's the
Countless.
fun of it.
Countless. I can't tell you the name of a project because there are so many where I
Yeah.
go in ready, got the plan, measurements, everything, tools ready. And then I'll screw something up and I only bought enough material for that project, like to do it in one shot.
Right.
And then I have to like get my ass back to Home Depot and get like more supplies or something.
Yeah.
Too many times.
And also you got to factor in your time in that. Maury, have you ever done a DIY project?
I was thinking, nope.
No, like nothing, right? You've never DIY'd anything.
I mean, we're kind of doing it, but we're having someone else do it
No,
for
you
us.
have done a
not- that's
DIY.
not
Hold on.
DIY.
Our
That's
Christmas
HIY.
presents were all DIY.
Oh, yeah.
So
facts.
yes, you have done a DIY. Our Christmas presents were all DIY.
That's borderline.
Realistically, Maury just took a string and attached it to a bucket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's borderline DIY. But like you've never refinished a table.
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
Right? Have you ever done a DIY project, Maury? Maria?
No.
No. Shem?
I don't think so.
Nothing?
No.
You've never stripped a chair and restained it?
No.
You've never grinded down like a metal table,
Who do you think I am?
primed it and painted it and like
I've once helped to build a straw broom,
Sorry.
which then I was beaten with it, but I was.
No.
that's some sad DIY.
Yo, that is quite the punishment. Build
Yeah.
this and I'm going to beat you with it?
Yeah. I didn't know I was going to get beat with it, but I just.
Okay.
Do we need more
Wait.
of
Set up.
that story? Was it your parents?
Yeah, it wasn't kinky. It wasn't that thing.
Nobody thought kinky, man.
That was last
where I
weekend
was
with his
going.
girl.
No one thought kinky.
Oh, man.
All right, next DM, please.
All right. Jag says, what's a food or meal that immediately reminds you of your childhood?
For Shem, it's apple juice and roti.
Yeah.
You have an answer, Roz?
But like, I don't have it anymore, though. Like, there's a lot of staples that we used to have when I was growing up. Like, I haven't made sloppy joes in years, but we used to eat them all the time, right? Same thing with TV dinners. Like, if I'm in the grocery store, right, I will, I'll look at the TV dinners and I get nostalgic. The other day in the grocery store, took a picture for my brother in the grocery store and I sent it to him because I saw the box and I was like, oh my God. And I got super nostalgic because it reminded me of our childhood, which was a box of fish fingers.
Oh my God, yes.
Right? I haven't had fish fingers in 30 years.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of
That was an after-school special for us.
Yes, right? So that kind of stuff. But I don't really make any. I mean, my mom used to make great spaghetti, but I still make great spaghetti, but it doesn't remind me of growing up.
Something that reminds me of growing up, and I haven't had this in forever because when you read the ingredients on the can.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Terrible.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
It's so bad for you.
Yeah.
But times were tough.
Yes.
Things were lean.
Yes.
For mom and dad.
Yeah.
So it used to be corned beef and rice.
Yeah.
Right? Corned beef that came in a can.
Yes, sir. Fried?
Yeah.
Fried up
Yeah.
in a pan.
With some white rice.
Loved that.
Yeah,
On
that reminds
toast,
me.
too, sometimes. That can of corned beef on
sure.
toast with a little mustard.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it was so good.
Dan Maury.
Pickles always remind me of my grandmother.
Really? Yeah.
And fried matzo reminds me of my dad.
What's fried matzah taste like?
Oh, it's so good.
Don't say that. It's not.
No, it really, no, it
What is
honestly is.
matzah?
You soak the matzah
bread?
pieces in water.
Yeah.
And then you drain it.
Yeah.
Then you crack an egg and sort of mush it all together and then fry it and you have it with jelly or jam. And it's fantastic.
Okay. Well, listen, I know it's a cultural thing and everything else.
It's called
but
matzah brai. Where are all my Jews at?
That sounds awful.
Yeah,
All right.
sorry, no offense.
And I've been enough to Friday night Jewish dinners to know that there's a lot of stuff on that table that didn't agree with me.
Maria, you got a meal that reminds you of your childhood?
Yeah, I got like a couple, but I mean, for me, like if I'm gonna go nostalgic, I definitely have to go with these little chocolate croissants. They're from Greece. You can only get them there, and I would eat them all the time. My grandparents would bring us like bags back from Greece when they'd come back, and I would just eat those all the time. And then we would try to recreate them here every time I slept at their house. But the other thing I would say is the oatmeal that had the dino eggs in them. And then they would crack.
Oh, I remember.
It's oatmeal, and there was dino eggs in them, and then they would crack. And I remember I hated it, but my sisters loved it, and I sat there and would have to eat it. No, I just didn't like the taste of oatmeal.
Oh, okay,
back then,
got
you
it.
know? And I just had to sit there, and I would just play with the dino eggs. Yeah. Anyways, it was cool. I got to see them hatch. That was the exciting part. But it reminds me of my childhood because my sisters loved like porridge and all that stuff when they were younger. And I was like, I cannot stand this.
Vomit.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all of the DMs that you are sending in to us. We talk about them every single day. This has been the DM Deep Dive. Thanks, Maria.
You got it.
Roz and Mocha's DM Deep Dive. When you have nothing to say, why do you always say it to us?
DM Deep Dive. Part of the show where we go through the DMs that you are sending in to us.
What do we got in the DMs today, Maria?
All right. Elvie says, Mocha, did you enjoy doing tomatoes? Will you be doing it this year? Maybe you can get Roz to join you.
Oh, making tomato sauce. You know what? I don't know. We have so many jars left
Already,
over from last year because we did like a big batch that I don't think we're doing them. We don't have to this year because I got so many jars left over.
You started doing that when you moved. You and Jenna moved to a house and you had neighbors or you had friends who were
neighbors,
super into it.
yeah.
Neighbors, right? Yeah.
We've been doing sauce now.
It's a long time.
Like almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every year. Yeah. Almost 10 years. I think this is the first year that we're skipping because we made so many jars last year.
A lot of people do them every 2 years. Like I have a lot of friends who do them for that reason because they make so many that they can't go through all of them in 1 year. So they do it and because it takes a lot of work, right? They kind of spread it out. But I've always wanted to do it. I've never been able to.
Oh my
I've
God.
never done it.
It's like one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things to do the entire year. It's because, yes, it is a lot of work, but like you're with family and everyone's just having a good time. It's fun.
Yeah.
Wait, so Roz, would you join Mocha in doing it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Next DM.
Victor says.
He's like, I'll just take a jar. I'll happily take a jar.
I have before. It's a great jar.
All right, Victor says, Maria, how is the half marathon training going? Are you going to be getting a cool outfit for the race?
Great question. Maria is training right now for a half marathon coming up in the next couple of weeks. And what's that like? I see on stories every now and then you're posting that you're out for a run and you seem to be increasing your pace.
Yeah. Like I've now hit 18 kilometers. So I'm almost at the end there. Yeah, thank you.
That's incredible.
So it's October 20th, the marathon, which I'm really excited about, or half marathon I'm doing. I'm even more excited because I'm raising money now for a good cause that I chose.
Can you tell us what it is?
Yeah, so it's a foundation where they raise money for young girls who don't have access to sport and are nervous to get involved in sport just because females, they tend to play sports less than men do or boys do growing up. So that is the cause.
Great.
Perfect.
Yeah, and a cool outfit. Yeah, I'm getting new shoes.
Have you broken them in yet?
No. So my plan is to get them a couple weeks before so that I can only run once or twice in them.
Yeah.
That way they're not worn out by the time like marathon day comes. And then I want to get a cool outfit. Yeah, I haven't decided yet.
What has been the hardest part of training so far? Like, have you hit a peak yet where you're like, oh man, like this is a lot more difficult than what I thought?
I didn't realize how hard it was going to be on my body. Like I am sore some days and the energy levels I have, like I really have to watch like what I'm eating, how much sleep I'm getting, because it really does affect you the next day. So that's been like the mental challenge has been hard and keeping yourself motivated because there's so many days where you're like, I don't want to run 18 kilometers today, but I have to, right?
Most days I would say.
I was like, I ain't doing that. What else we got today, Maria?
All right. Erica says, I was just on my way back from Northern Ontario, a 20-hour drive to where I live now. And when it was my turn to drive and my boyfriend was asleep, I was finally able to listen to the history of Roz and Mocha. I listened to all 6 episodes back to back, and I absolutely loved to hear it. I've been listening since middle school, somewhere between 2013 and 2015. There's a decent amount I did already know, but some stuff really surprised me, and I feel I have a new appreciation for the show. I absolutely love the show. I even sit in the car for a few extra minutes to finish whatever segment is on before I head in. You guys make my day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Erica,
That's a long drive.
thank you very much. That's amazing. We made that docu-series for people like you who are fans, whether you've been listening from the beginning or you just joined us like in the past couple of years, much like you did in 2013. The history of Roz Mocha, we've said this before, but if you haven't yet listened to it, you haven't yet heard the podcast, it now lives in its own podcast feed. Before, it used to exist in the regular podcast feed, and because we release an episode every single day, those 6 episodes get lost. You have to like scroll and scroll and scroll. So we've created its own feed where episodes 1 through 6 exist. Just search for Roz Mocha anywhere you get your podcast from, and it'll pop up. You'll see it says the history of Roz Mocha. Only those 6 episodes are available, and you can download them and listen to them whenever you can. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, LV, for your question. Thank you, everyone, for all of your DMs. We get them. Maria gets them, and she brings them to the show, and we talk about them every day. That was amazing. Thanks today, Maria.
Anytime.
Roz and Mocha's DM Deep Dive. Roz and Mocha's DM Deep Dive. Things get weird in 3, 2, 1.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. One of my favorite parts of the day where we get to talk about the DMs that you are sending in to us. It's the DM Deep Dive time.
Maria, what do we got in the DMs?
All right, Jesse says, since everyone is now back to school, we want to know how you were as a student. Did you ever skip classes? If so, what did you do when your parents found out? Did you guys get in trouble?
I think for Roz and I, as students, we covered a lot of that in the history of Roz and Mocha, the docuseries.
I mean, I wasn't the best student.
Oh, neither was I.
I skipped, and I was more interested in like guitars and girls and just not like I liked school. I enjoyed my time there because it was very social. I went to a really great, like it was a very social school, but I wasn't very academic. I didn't really care about science and this kind of stuff. I just liked hanging out. So like when I went to class, I enjoyed being in class because I liked kicking it with people, but I wasn't there to try and have some sort of goal. Like I never worried about my grades because I needed to get into like university or something like that. So I didn't really take high school that seriously, but I had a great high school experience. You know what I mean?
Maria, what kind of student were you?
I was a good student.
Yeah.
I will say that like I talked a lot, so I kept getting kicked out of class for talking too much. I did skip a few classes, and like my older sister never like broke like the ice that way. Like my older sister was always like the good student. So when I started skipping classes and the phone calls started coming in, I would definitely get in trouble. And then I would get home and try to answer the phone before my parents could answer it, so that they didn't know that I skipped class. And then by the time my younger sister went to high school, I would catch her on the side of the road walking from Tim Hortons, and my parents didn't care. I was like, what?
So when you would go home and answer the phone, would you try to pretend that you were one of your parents? Or
No, they were
pretend that you
automated
your mom?
messages.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, student Maria Papadakis missed class A and B at this time.
A and B.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So
And then what do you have to do
yeah.
at that point? Do you like press 1 to confirm, or?
You just like, I would just hang up. But then they started doing this thing where they would call and then send an email. So then I had no idea that the email went through, and then my mom would sit down, we would all be at dinner. I thought everything was handy dandy fine. And then my dad would say, well, you missed another class, didn't you, today? And I said, how the hell do you know that?
I'll tell you the difference here. Damn it, Maury, how many hours in your life do you think that you've spent trying to learn your father Frank's signature?
I have the exact same signature as him.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And how many times did you try to use it in high school?
Oh, never.
Really?
No.
Oh, I mean, me neither.
Cheesecake, you were a good student, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
got
passed everything, went to all them classes.
Sure did.
Right?
I was in every
Teacher's
club.
pet.
No, I wouldn't say teacher's pet. I was involved in every club. I was a pretty popular kid.
Nerd.
And and class valedictorian 3 times, baby.
Oh my God, can I tell
I used
you?
to try and master my mom's signature to the point where one time I'd put her signature up on the window.
Yeah.
And then I would try to trace it with a pen.
Yeah.
She doesn't know that. Now she does.
You're going to get caught doing that. What was it, Maury?
So I recently found old yearbooks from when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I learned that I wasn't in any clubs.
None.
But I used to show up for the photos of those clubs and sneak into the pictures of all the clubs. So if you look through the yearbook, I'm in every club, but I was not in any of those clubs.
Drama club, camera club.
Debate.
Oh, no.
I'm in the pictures of all of them.
But you're in the pictures, but not actually in the clubs.
No.
Oh, my God. You were a schemer even back then.
Yeah, big time.
You know what I mean?
What else we got in the DM deep dive today?
Lester says, do you or anyone else think that they could win 5 and 7? Maury is terrible at it, but it does seem difficult under pressure. I think I could.
Yeah. There's no chance.
I think it could.
There's no chance. I'm not doing it anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
All right, we got time for one more DM, please, Maria.
All right, Louisa says, I've been listening to the show for about 7 years. Most of those years was on the drive to work in the morning. In 2020, I retired, so I no longer need to get up early and drive to work, and unfortunately no longer listen to Roz and Mocha.
What?
In 2021, I was so happy to find your podcast, and I have been listening every day.
The story is so dramatic.
And then what happened?
Stop reading.
Her question is, who puts the podcast together? Whoever it is, when they go on vacation, is there anyone else who downloads the podcast? Or does no one do it? I went almost 2 whole weeks without listening to your podcast.
That would be Cheesecake and Damn It Maury take care of the podcast stuff.
And the only time podcasts don't exist is like usually in the summertime when
we're not doing shows.
You know, the summertime we're taking vacation, and the whole team we try to get to take vacation at the same time, right? So when we're not doing live shows, there's no podcast to put together.
Yeah, we put a podcast episode out every single day, and as you said, when we're on vacation, you might get 1 or 2 that week as opposed to 1 every single day. But other than that, we are pretty consistent.
I don't know about you guys, but this last round of vacation, man, I heard from. It seemed like every single fan almost every day who are used to getting a podcast episode every day. Being like, yo, where's my episode? Like, yo,
guess what? Chill.
We're on vacation.
I just had people asking me if I was ever going to come back.
Yeah, chill. Chill.
22 days.
Chill. Like, when you know, like, we are here every other day throughout the entire year. Just chill, man.
So to answer your question, Louisa,
you get what you freaking get.
It's Cheesecake and Damn It Maury.
That's the answer. Right. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Thank you, everyone. It's been an amazing DM deep dive. Keep those DMs coming in. They go to Maria. Maria brings them to the show. That was the best. Thanks, Maria.
You got it.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.